my dear students. I am Dr. Abhijit Mujumdar, working as Professor and Director of Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pharmacy Institute, Greater Noida. We are studying for the last few classes on what basically are the marketing channels, how to select them, how to measure the advantages and the cost involved in the process. And in the last class, we have discussed about what are the main reasons for their conflict. In fact, I have discussed in the previous class about what are the various types of vertical conflict. We have discussed about the various types of horizontal conflict, and in continuation with that, we have also discussed about the reasons which has resulted in that conflict. And as a manager, your role is to manage those conflicts. In that context, we have discussed how to overcome, how to manage these conflicts which may take place amongst the channel members, whether it is at the same level or it is at the different level. As we know that whenever it is a case of different level, we are talking of a vertical conflict, and whenever it is taking place at the same level, it is called horizontal conflict. Sometimes unknowingly or knowingly, it is being created by the manufacturing organization themselves, either by recruiting too many intermediaries in a proper market, which leads to saturation. Sometimes there is a lack of communication which needs to be percolated. Sometimes there is a dispute in terms of strategy. Say for example, a particular company is trying to move on to market penetration strategy, and whenever we are trying to go for market penetration strategy, we need to lower down the price. The moment you lower down the price, your objective is you try to get as many users as possible. Now, moment you lower down the price, automatically the profitability of the retailers, they get hampered. So, they try to follow a reverse strategy, which is called market skimming strategy. They want to keep the price at the same level. There are various incidences where it has been seen that the company, they try to discontinue their promotional measures which they were following earlier, because they think that sufficient has been done to attract the customers, and now it is the time to get the money back. But at the same time, the retailers try to protest against this, because they know that moments these promotional avenues will be withdrawn, it may be difficult for them to convince the customer. It may so happen that the customers may move from their company's product to the other company's product. So, these are some of the reasons, why there may be a conflict in the channel of distribution. This already we have discussed. Now, today we are beginning with what we are calling as physical distribution management. The term physical distribution, that is the way by which the product will move from the point of production to the point of distribution, from the point of production to the point of distribution. According to McCarthy and Perelt, Physical distribution is the process of transporting and storing of physical goods within an individual farm along with the channel systems. It is a process by which the goods are transported, stored within the individual farms along with the channel members. Another definition which has been put forward by a scientist called Stanton, when he defines physical distribution, includes all the activities with moving the right amount of product to the right place at the right time. That is, Stanton defines physical distribution as the activities with moving the amount of right products to the right place at the right time. So, with these two definitions, we are coming to the major objectives of physical distribution. Physical distribution, the major objective is we need to reduce the overall cost by making a proper balance of its component function. What does it mean? Now, whenever there is a development of an order, you need to fulfill that particular order by supplying to the person who is putting up that purchase order. Now, this order should be such that it should not involve a huge quantity to be ordered at one point of time, because if a huge quantity is ordered at a point of time, it will no doubt it will save you transportation cost, but it will result in your money gets unnecessarily stuck off. Whenever you are ordering a large quantity of product, the product will be dumped in the warehouse or a godown, where there is a chance that the product is undergoing degradation, spoilage. And once the product is spoiled, automatically it will lead to your drainage of investment. So, this is one of the very important area which as a marketing manager all of you have to look into. If on the other hand, if you are not planning it properly, if you are ordering it frequently, more frequent an order is, greater is the cost of transportation. So, that also is problematic. Now, in certain situations where if the transportation is not proper, you will not get your product in the desired time. So, you need to optimize this process, that is, a right amount of a product is to be ordered at a right time, so that it is reaching the right place at a proper time. Optimization is very vital. So, what are the advantages of proper physical distribution system? The first is it provides better customer service. If it is reaching the customers at a proper time, they are satisfied, they are happy, so this will lead to better customer satisfaction. It helps in improving sales by making goods always available. There is no stock out at any point of time. The third one is it reduces the cost through proper location of the warehouse and improve material handling. It reduces the cost through a proper location of a warehouse and handling the material properly. The next advantage over the rivals through effective customer service, that is rapid delivery and avoiding delivery of damaged goods. Now, if the item is properly ordered, if it is ordered at a proper point of time, if the item is available with you, so the waiting time will be less. So, the immediate delivery which you can give to the customer, it creates a very good impression in his mind, number one. Number two is, if you have to order when the customer is coming to you, it will take a certain time period to come, and it may so happen that during the process, the item which is coming from the manufacturing house to the customer through you may reach after a certain period of time of transit in a damaged condition. Both these are to be avoided by effective physical distribution system, because they are creating the spoilage of your reputation. There should be a development of a communication system for the salesman sending order to the producer within a very shortest period of time. This is very important. And lastly, the inventory control to ensure economic order quantity of the inventory. Economic order quantity means that much amount of items should be available in the store before you are shooting the next order. Say, in your store there are 100 items, and when the number of items is dropping down to 30, you are placing the order for the next lot. The reason behind is, within the period when it has reached the 30 mark, before the stock or the level of inventory reaches 0, your order is provided by or fulfilled by the manufacturing organization. That is, the company has supplied the items, and again the level has gone up. So, you need to maintain the number of items at least at the minimum level of inventory or economic order quantity. It should maintain an equilibrium of the demand and supply. This demand and supply coordination is very important, particularly for seasonal goods like sugar, wheat, to ensure round the year supply. Price stabilization, another advantage of the physical distribution system, because the prices sometimes fluctuates. If you are in a position to purchase it at a time when the price is reasonably low, you can give the customer at a reasonable rate. Next is smooth distribution of products and provide the right quantity at a right time at a reasonable cost. That is the crux of effective physical distribution system. That is the crux of a very effective physical distribution system. That is, the right quantity should reach at the right time at a reasonable cost. Next is the importance of a proper physical distribution system. It should be planned and integrated management of all the physical distribution activities, whether we talk in terms of transportation, storage, inventory control and other processing, that should have a unique importance in marketing. It offers a feasible solution in maintaining an optimum balance between the physical distribution cost and the customer service level. This is absolutely very vital. It should offer a feasible solution in maintaining an optimum balance between the physical distribution cost and the customer service level. What are the components of physical distribution cost? The components include the cost of storage, transportation, inventory and order processing. These are all coming under physical distribution cost. We should make a proper optimization, proper balance between these two. The sum total of the cost of storage, transportation, inventory control, processing, total clubbed up to be under physical distribution cost and the degree of satisfaction which a customer receives. Now, all the activities are coordinated properly to have an effective physical distribution package to give the customer the service they expect, at the same time assure that there should be a reasonable profit to the marketer as well as for the producers. If this coordination is proper, if this integrity is proper, if these activities are coordinated in an effective way, proper way, remember that there should be a very effective packaging distribution system, and if this is effective, it will give the customer the maximum satisfaction and at the same time the manufacturer will get a very profitable sales. Physical distribution helps in maintaining the stable prices. What does it mean? Even the customer expect price stability over a period of time. Proper use of transportation and warehousing facilities helps in matching the demand with the supply and hence provide absolute stabilization of the price. Any customer, even you do not expect that a price of an item should fluctuate throughout the day. You do not expect the price of an item fluctuate across the month. So, stability of price is a very important aspect which has been achieved by proper physical distribution system. Customers often give more importance to physical distribution system rather than the price and promotion service, because nobody wants to wait. Whatever the item they require, they want as quickly as possible. They consider that physical distribution as a second important parameter after product quality as a reason to buy a product from a certain firm. Nobody wants to wait for an indefinite period of time. They will have to wait for the product to be purchased, the product to be produced and then it will come down across to him. Nobody wants to wait. They want the goods. In fact, after product quality, effective product distribution is the second important parameters which a buyer, which a customer considers whenever he is taking a buying decision. So, better physical distribution provides better satisfaction to the customers. What are the elements of an effective physical distribution system? One is the inventory planning and control, two is order processing, warehousing and transportation. All these are the various elements of an effective physical distribution channel. Inventory planning and control. There should be a suitable process for order handling. Order processing time must be reasonable as the delay will result in the loss of business. Next is the speed in order execution reflects the degree of customer satisfaction. Already I have discussed with you in great details. Inventory control involves knowledge. Inventory control involves knowledge of when to order, how much to order, These are the two most important parameters. Inventory control involves when to order, how much to order. The inventory interconnects the production activity and the purchase activity, because the production department also has to schedule its production, because they need to satisfy the supply. So, there should be a balanced assortment of the merchandise for sales to meet the expected customer demand. Too small an inventory will result in suddenly development of stock out situation, which will ultimately lead to the loss of your sales. A huge inventory stock up on the other hand, the other way out, huge capital investment, your money will be blocked, the turnover will be low. Not only that, you are maintaining a storehouse, you are maintaining a godown. So, it will result in a high inventory operating cost. So, both these are harmful. Smaller inventory leading to stock out situation, larger inventory leading to capital being blocked up, turnover being low, low operating, a very high cost of operation. So, what we have to do is, you have to use this particular formula, Q is equal to square root of T S and C I. Now, Q is what we are calling as the economic order quantity. It can be used to determine of what quantity to be ordered so as to minimize the total inventory cost. Q is equal to square root of twice total units disposed per year multiplied by restocking and ordering cost divided by the annual carrying cost. Now, let us study what are the various modes of transportation. Transportation can be in the form of trucks, it can be in the form of rail, aeroplane, pipelines and water vessels. Rail is the most effective way to move the bulk shipments along very long distance, as it is the very cost effective and dependable. But the only problem with rail is it is always not feasible. If the volume is less, it is not possible. Trucking is the fastest way to ship for large and small shippers. It is dependent on the fact that where the roadways is high, where the roads are good, the highways are having a very good infrastructure, it is possible. But in a country like India, all areas the roads are not properly developed. The roads are not up to the desired level. So, sometimes availability, catering to various remote areas becomes very difficult in case of trucking. Next is air carriers, fastest way to move shipment from one place to another, but the only disadvantage with this air carrier is it is very expensive as compared to the other ways. If we compare the cost, air transportation is the fastest, at the same time it is the costliest. So, for those products which price are very high, we can always adopt for air carriers, otherwise no. Next is water transportation. It is one of the slowest mode. It is one of the slowest mode. Water transportation is the slowest, air transportation is the fastest. Water transportation is the slowest and the least expensive mode. It tends itself to handling the various bulk commodities that can be easily containerized. Now, let us see what does containerized means. Containerized means putting the goods in container that can be transferred from one transportation mode to other. There are two mainly ways. One is called as the piggyback containerization, where train to truck we are calling as piggyback. On the other hand, water to truck we are calling as fishyback, that is putting the the items in proper small containers. Pipelines is another form of very efficient mode of transportation, mainly used for liquefied items like natural gas, like petroleum. Here the problem is investment is high to set up the pipelines. Many shippers use a combination of transportation mode that is two modes combined together to move a shipment. Warehousing, there are two types, one is private, other one is public. It is an important component of physical distribution. Warehousing decision must be made as to the type of warehousing to be used and the location of this warehousing. Private warehouse are owned by individual items. They are generally the leased by the company. Public warehouse are those operated owners which provide the storage and related physical distribution facilities on a rental basis to the firm. Material handling, storage condition, selection is a very important in marketing. This comprises all the activities associated with the moving the product within the production unit, warehouse as well as transportation. Various newer systems of packaging, containerization, palletization have reduced the cost of physical process. This slide shows the newer material handling method like unitization, containerization, and there should be an availability of the conveyor system and the forklift trucks for for easy transportation of goods. These are the newer material handling methods which are available in an industry. Next is the order processing. It refers to the receiving, recording, filing, assembling order for shipment, the customer order origination and transmission, the firm internal order processing and order assembly, the transportation mode leading to the transit time of delivery. With this, we are coming to the end of the class today. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.